Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be going through Opus 3 of Sevcik's studies. To be able to play anything well, you need to work on technique. It is so important. Sevcik focuses on quite a few things: pitch, sound, rhythm and ease. These exercises are intended to make playing easier. And so it's the same as scales, but a little bit more focus on the way in which we play. The focus for Sevcik is that every note is in tune, so focus on intonation. But then of course it wants a note to be clean and the result of a particular bow speed, amount of pressure, and is also dependent on the tension of the string, particularly in distance from the bridge. So there's lots of things to focus in and consider in those. It teaches lots of things, particularly bowing techniques, so spiccato, staccato, and other sort of bowing techniques. So let's get stuck in. We're going to start by relaxing, because relaxing is really, really important when you do anything. So I'm going to ask you to stand with your arms by your side and take a nice breath in and out. Excellent. Swing your arms by your sides for me. Get really loose and comfy. It's important to find your centre, to find where you feel most comfortable. Most people, their back is straight, their head's a little bit further back, and they're leaning slightly into their heel. That's when it's the most sort of comfortable for people. So find where you are most comfortable and come to a relaxing feel with everything just flowing out, all the tension just flowing out from your shoulders, through your elbows, to your wrists and out through your fingers. Lovely. So this time I'm going to ask you to go into position for me. So we're going to swing out and then you're going to imagine that you're going to play. Relax your elbows, keep everything nice and level and comfortable. Your left hand should be facing in towards you because this is where your scroll would be resting, and your bowing hand would be facing down because that's where you would hold your bow. Lovely, and swing out again. That's great. So I've probably talked about this previously in other videos, but you're going to bring the violin to you nice and gently. Your body should stay exactly where it is comfortable. Your neck and shoulders shouldn't rise or change. It should just be bringing the violin to you. Your chin should turn ever so slightly to rest on the chin rest, and that should be it. That's where we should be. Gap between your arm and your body, nice and comfortable, ready to play. If I was to look at the theme, which is the first thing in the book, this is encouraging us to kind of get into the sound that Sevcik wants us to have, and then we're going to obviously build on those in the variations. So I'm going to play for you the theme, and then we'll talk about what aspects we are trying to focus on in this exercise. So I think it's absolutely beautiful. He's focusing a lot on intonation, making sure that everything is really, really well in tune. Obviously with lots of minims, you've got time to focus on the next note and move to the next note. Shifting, making sure that shift between the F sharp and the B is really smooth and really subtle and really in tune. To jump from first to third is quite a difficult skill, so making sure that that is really smooth. When we get again to the C sharp, when we get to the forte, and also focusing on creating that smoothness in the bow. That's what they really want from the theme. Now, moving to the Allegro, which is variation 1. In this section of the piece, we've got some Fs written over the tops of the notes. Okay, now that those Fs actually do mean something, and they're kind of focusing on the sort of beginning of the sound. Okay, it's at the heel. They want it at the heel, so it's very, very strong. When we get to here, you want to be right here at the top, right here. It's not a particularly comfortable place to be, actually, when your hand's right in front of your face, and a lot of people tend to favour the top or the point of the bow because it's an easier place to play. But actually at the heel is so important because that's where you have the most power, the most strength. Very, very strong. So if I go to the beginning of variation 1, really focus on being near the heel. just going to stop there because you can do the rest. So the whole idea behind the piece is it's at the beginning, it's got quavers and then it changes to crotches, but it's meant to continue as simile. It's meant to be the same. So you're meant to have that lovely going back to the heel constantly with those up bows. It's meant to have that really lovely feel and sound in order to develop getting back to that heel and getting comfortable in that position. So that's what I would say with those ones. Really focus on intonation and sound and then getting back to the heel. Doing lots of exercises where you're kind of here and having to play. Keeping yourself at the heel is a really, really good exercise, and this is just a great way to get used to being at the heel. Thank you so much for joining me.